Good afternoon. Barely, but it is afternoon and good afternoon. And my name is Glenn. I am your host today again on Market Watch Group Trading Foundations. This is to look at the closing of the market today. We have a early close because of Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. David, good to see you.
Good to see
Um,
you.
and let's wait a second, see who shows up. We get the chat box working. All right. We got some continuations of those pivot pops. These are some great examples today. We'll take a look. Um, and the market today has hit an all-time historic new high again. Very strong day today. Amazing. Um, today's high, we'll go over this again. 602.89, higher than the previous. So we are still undeniably in a raging bull market. There, you can leave your mic on. Ah, um,
I wasn't sure if it was, other than you mentioning it this morning, that it was actually going to start at 11 because I kept looking at the uh, market watch and I didn't see. I, I I got out of it or I hit the bull, and it showed me the time change, but I don't know if that's what other people maybe are going through.
yeah, I don't know. Um, I think it looks like the time change was just made here recently in like the last hour or two. So
Yeah.
people may not know. Didn't seem like Stephen knew that the market was closed at 1. So um, people may not realize that. They might think it's open till 4. We don't know, but we're here. Um, we'll see who else shows up. If not, if nothing else, then you and I'll talk.
Okay.
Um, so you have any trades that you're looking at right now?
PLTR. I haven't set it up yet. I was kind of waiting to see what happens today, but you talked about that earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice flag. Where's your high and low on this one?
Uh, that red candle on 1125 would be my high,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think the low's the next day.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cushion? You got a cushion?
Yeah, the it'd be 35 cents,
Mm.
10% of the ATR.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Let's see what PLTR has done over time. Oof. This thing was $10
I
last
know.
year. Mm.
I've bought it several times, and I've in general it's always been a pretty good buy.
Mm-hmm.
Paper trade. Um, I was going to ask you about options. I got to thinking about, things not triggering properly.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered you mentioned to me a while back that it's probably not a good idea to set things up prior to the market opening because of the options changing after the market opens. And I wondered if that's what's created a problem for me at times
I don't know.
because
Yeah.
the bid and ask and delta and all that um, may change right after the market opens from what it looked like pre-market. I don't know.
Yeah, but listen, I mean, first of all, there's no doubt that's a possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it is a possibility because I know it happened to me a couple times over the years. I had a trade one time and I had to stop, but I don't know. Let's say it was $2.50 on, well, I don't remember what it was. Let's say it's 250, and the stock opened up 50 cents and the option was trading at like 350 and it went down to $1 the moment the market opened. The stock opened at 50 cents plus 50 cents.
Hmm.
And it came down for one tick, stopped me out, and then 1 nanosecond later, it was back to 360.
Oh man.
And I called TradeStation and I said, listen, guys, I mean, I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but it don't work that way. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. The option's based on the price of the stock. The stock opened up 50 cents. The thing can't drop 65% for one trade to get me out and then go right back up to where it basically should have been. And I called the trade desk and he said, no, you're right. So they can go back somewhere. They can go back and look at like time and sales and the whole thing, stuff that we can't see. And because I brought up the chart of the option, which you can do just via the option chain. And I could see where, the trades were. And he went back and looked at everything and he said, no, you're right. So he gave us he gave me the 250. Gave me
Oh,
the
that's
credit for
good.
the two. Yeah. But I mean, that's like once in the last 10 years. But
And that,
that can happen. But here's the problem. And it's not going to always happen and it shouldn't happen. But that was an isolated incident. But here's the issue. Let's say you put this in. You put this in today. And then it goes this way 3, 4, 5 more days. And then on the open, on the 6th day, it triggers. What are you going to do? Take it out and put it back in every day?
no.
So you're kind of at the mercy of the market, and that's why you've got to have options that have plenty of open interest and even plenty of volume. That should really protect you against stuff like that happening. And PLTR certainly has plenty of open interest.
Yes.
But you get some thinly traded, right? Little stock that has no volume and does 2 contracts a day and then has 10, 15, 30, 40 open interest. You have a higher probability of it happening there. And even then, it really shouldn't happen. But that time it did. So, again, if you're going to, let's say this is Monday and it's 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern and the market hasn't opened and you want to put that order in, could you wait until it opens? Yeah. But then you're just going to put a market order in. You're just going to wait for it. I mean, that's what I do. If I was going to wait for this to trigger Monday morning, I'd be waiting for the open and I would see if it broke above the high plus my cushion on a 2-minute chart. If you have time for that, that's always the best way to do it. But, OCOs are designed for people who, for whatever reason, don't have enough time every single day and all day to kind of watch the chart and watch the option screen.
Okay.
So, um, yeah, that's the bottom line there. But if you can, by all means, let's say you're in here and you put on a little 2-minute chart and you're looking for a breakout and not just for example, and you're looking for a breakout right here. And it doesn't quite get there and then pulls back and then it doesn't quite get there and pulls back and then up here, boom, you get triggered in. You would take it at market, say, okay, boom, you pull the trigger and then you see what happens.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that it pulled back here is irrelevant. This is a swing trade, so you're going to see what it does for the rest of the day. But yeah, or let's say your entry was right here and 3 minutes into the market, boom, you're in. You just say, okay, boom, you hit the market order and you're in.
Okay.
And then throw a stop on it. Or you could have an OCO and just place the trade. So then you don't have to go in and put a separate stop. Just place the trade with a day market order and boom, attach a stop to it. And it'll open up the trade and then attach a stop to it. Yeah, but this market's screaming higher because look at my watch list. Google's the only stock on the entire watch list that isn't green.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, is what it is. Let me see here. Make a little note here. Um, any others, David?
PMC.
Hold on.
I had thought about setting it up, but then I just watched it this morning and it hadn't done a whole lot.
What's the symbol?
V is in Victor, M is in Mike, C is in Charlie,
Let's see.
Vulcan.
Oh, Vulcan Materials.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Full flag. Um, I really want to see you get into more of these pullbacks too. I don't know how
Yeah.
many as a percentage that you take, but um,
Well, that's
pullbacks
where
are.
I've had problems. But yes, I'm looking for those too. I've been doing a lot of screens this morning
Hmm.
and, excuse me. So typically I use, S&P when I'm doing the, screener under the index, S&P 500. Or I also look at the groups and see how they're doing. Technology is really doing good today, but it's not in the 1 week. It's second from the bottom.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Industrials was another one that let's see, fifth down on the 1 week performance, but it's number two on the day performance. And then consumer cyclical three and three. So I've looked at all those.
All right. So when you scan, besides S&P 500, I know we talked about this before. Let's review it again. Do you put anything else on this descriptive page?
Um, I will sometimes do the earnings date if I'm looking for a pullback
Sure.
for the previous week or the previous 5 days. Uh, in the past, I've not checked optionable because normally all the S&P stocks are optionable, but I've started checking that
Hmm.
just to be sure. The price, don't worry about that because S&P usually is, uh,
A little bit higher.
yeah, yeah.
What about technical?
Yeah, on the technical side, I'll start with, well, I do it two ways. If I'm looking at the sector, uh, then I'll look at the industry. As an example, if I'm looking at industrials today, uh, then I'll look at I'll just go through all the industry, and so I don't worry about the technical so much. But if I'm trying to scan everything, I'll go back and 10% above 200, 10% above
Well,
50, and
I'm curious about that. So if you look through industries, then why wouldn't you still want to see one that's trending in an uptrend with the moving averages?
uh, well, it's kind of a preference for me. So if I'm going through like the industrials, and the first industry is aerospace, um, there's not that many on the screen. General Dynamics is the first one that's under 300, and so there's like uh, eight for me to go through, and so I don't mind doing that just to make sure I don't
Mm,
miss anything.
hmm. Okay.
But if I'm if I'm doing the whole market, then I'll make sure I do the technical and also the channel up. And then if it's like I said, if I set the S&P 10% above 200, 10% above 50, and I might start with just above 20, and then do the channel up. And if I don't get enough, then I may drop the 50 to just above the 50 to pick up a few more. And I typically sort on the price row with the highest priced to the lowest price. And so, like on this first page here, there's nothing on page one because it stops at 332.70. And then so the first stock I'm picking up is NSC, Norfolk Southern, and that's looking like a possibility. Looks like a flag there.
Yeah, I don't have that one on this scan.
Uh, so then I put it in over on TradeStation just to make sure that I'm seeing things correctly, and then also to see if what the options look like.
Mm-hmm.
So
All
um,
right.
NSC,
Don't be
I don't.
afraid. So NSC, you did a scan? Was the, what were the three parameters for your moving averages?
The Let me go back.
Ray, good to see you.
10% above 200 and price above 50 and price above 20 and then channel up.
Yeah, I got that, but I don't have NSC.
Uh, on the description page, have you limited it to yay, S&P 500? Huh.
Yeah, an optional.
I was
Oh,
I was looking at this morning with you, and it looked like I was coming up with more or less stocks than you were coming up with, and I don't know why.
has to be something. There has to be a difference somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I couldn't find it. Um, oh, you got
Probably better.
10% above on the 50. I have just above 50
Oh, okay. Okay.
because I wanted to go through more. And then the second page is where it drops below 300.
Still don't have NSC.
Huh.
Oh, there it
It's
is.
number 25.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
Yeah, but
looks like a
see,
flag there.
still, as soon as I look at this is what resonates with me. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and not look, obviously we talked about it a million times about flags also, but um you can get those. Remember, if you put price below
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, I'll do that too. I would just give you an example.
yeah, this one, there's a pullback in NVIDIA. There was a pullback in Jacobs. No, nothing there. There's a beginning of a pullback there. So, see what this is. It's two. You got 2 days. This is today. So there'll be a gappy pullback. Could be. But yeah, I really like the pullbacks. I mean, bull flags are great. We have a bull market. We have a strong market. Bull flags are going to do well, but as long as that trend continues, man, look at the S&P 500 today. Look at this thing go.
Yeah.
It's up 431 today. The high now is 603. 26. It's $2 above the previous high on a light day like today, which is really unusual. And look at that pivot pop. Look at this. This is a double pivot pop. You could have taken it here. If you got stopped at, you could have got right back on this one, the next pivot, and then boom.
Yeah. So HPE that we were just looking at, their earnings date is December 5th. So it's a little close. I try to
Yeah,
stay out
it's
a week.
yeah. I mean, personal preference, but I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't take the trade unless you're
Right.
taking a, straddle or strangle. But I no, I mean, I'm too early for me, too close for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I try to 7 days normally is as close as I will get.
Hmm. Ray, what about you, brother? You have any stocks you want to take a look at?
No, I'm good right now.
Oh, all right. All right. So again, David, you have anything else, David? Let's put this here.
XLY looked interesting to me if I wanted to trade the
Oh,
index.
yeah, this consumer discretionary or
Um,
XLY? I don't think there's an XLY. Well, maybe there is. Yeah.
yeah,
Discretionary.
consumer
Yeah.
discretionary.
Oh, yeah. Got a little flag here.
Yeah.
Still a cup and handle. Yeah. It still would be considered, not that it matters. I don't even know why they have this pattern, but it looks like a cup with a handle on it. And again, it could be this way. It can be this way, or it can be like this one where it's cup is below the handle, top of the cup, handle's below the top of the cup, handle's in line with the top of the cup, or handle is above the top of the cup.
So how significant is that?
Well, it's not.
Okay.
Again, it's just a flag.
Right.
It's from a technical point of view, technicians will call this cup and handle. The one that I like, if anything, especially is this one, because now you have a double top.
Okay.
So it ran up to here and it stopped and then it pulled back and then put in another flag. So here you have a break above the flag and above the previous top or previous high. So kind of a double breakout.
Okay. Do you do any uh dividend stocks
Um,
for income, just getting in something and for long term?
yeah, I mean, I do have one. I have
Okay.
Exxon Mobil, but I bought that a long time ago. I bought Exxon when it was in the mid 40s, and oof, hold on a second. Let me go to a month. That was, man, I can't remember how many years ago that was. Um, I think it was in here. No, it was down here. That's 45, right about there. Oh, that was in
Huh.
21. No wonder. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, not really. Still 3 years ago. And at the time, it was giving a 9.5% dividend. And I thought, I mean, my gosh, ExxonMobil, again, phenomenal company. I mean, and I don't mean it from like I've researched it, but I mean, ExxonMobil coming in, come on, what's it? You know, who knows, $20 billion worth of revenue a year. Is it going to go away? Is it going to go to zero? Probably not. And then the chart started to look interesting. This is a monthly, so it's hard to tell. And I figured, you know what, at 9.5% dividend, and if I get some price appreciation, and then I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start to sell cover calls against it,
Okay.
which is what I did for well, probably about a year. And then let me see, man, I can do it on a weekly. Oh, this is weekly. Um, this is the bottom right here. Yeah. So I bought it down in here, broke above its moving averages. It was, I think it double bottomed here. Yeah, it had a nice double bottom. And I said, yeah, you know, I gotta get in on this. It had scrolled down from who knows what it was prior. I mean, this thing was at least 100, and then it was down to 40. I said, I'll take a 60%, 55% discount on this and get a 9.5% dividend and maybe get some price appreciation. And then I said, and so you know what? I'm going to sell some cover calls. And I started selling cover calls. Um, and then one of them had to buy back, and then I sold another one. And then it started to go up a little too much. And I said, you know what? I'm not selling no more cover calls. I'm just going to take the price appreciation. Now, the dividend, of course, was now down to 5 or 6%. Still okay, but it was now no longer a dividend stock. Now it was a price appreciation stock. And it just kept going and going and going. I still own it. Got a huge top right here, huge resistance all through here. So, and I have a customer. I have a student who that's a student. He's an older gentleman, 76 years old. He's been in the oil business forever. And he has an oil company business that fixes problems. He says he's on basically on call for 24 hours a day. If something, I guess like if an oil well screws up or who knows what, that kind of thing, he goes out and he has a company that fixes them. Um,
Oh,
and he said that drilling is absolutely taking off.
I'll bet.
Yep, taking off. You know, with Trump about to get in here. And, you know, this is not a recommendation, but I'm keeping my eye very close to oil because it could be a big pop once Trump gets in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We know this disclaimer. I should show it if I can get my pen out of the way. None of recommendations, educational. Okay, so we'll see. I mean, the price of oil has not moved. Not at all. See, we can bring up a chart of oil. So there's the price of crude oil. I mean, there's, but if we get a pop, if we get some pop up here into 85, 88, you know, the top was what, 95, but we get a little pop up into here somewhere. Oil stocks are going to scream. Got a bunch of support right here. And so, never know. A lot of good oil stocks out there. We'll see what happens. You know, I think there's going to be a little bit of pushback on the electric vehicles too for the next several years. Again, because of Trump, we'll see. But oil is in everything. Yeah, everything's made of oil to some
True.
degree. Yeah, so we'll see. Just an idea.
Yeah, I noticed it was I think number 4 on the 1 month.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know when or even if. Um, let's just see here. Let's go over here. Let's see. Texas Pacific Land Corporate. I never heard of those guys before in my life. Um, let's just see here. Uh, Let's go over here and we do this TPL. Let's just take a look at a few of these. Whoa, hello. Phew, my gosh, no wonder this thing's top of the list. This is a $1,800 stock. I never even heard of this thing. This went from 500 to 1,800 since April. That's RGP. Yeah, these are the movers in the oil patch. 80 to 220, EQT. Yeah, not so much on this one. I just had a nice run right here. OKE. Yeah, I think they're the big movers there. Baker Hughes, BKR. Yeah, nice little run here. 22, 43. Halliburton. Nah, Schlumberger. Come on, Trade Station. Hess. Yeah, the rest of them are Oxy. Nope. Huh. So they're the big movers. So we'll see. Think you're going to see there are going to be pockets of things happening differently when Trump gets in. Greg, good to see you. This could be one of them.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. We're getting near the close. Well, we got half an hour, but still. Look at this. Every single stock on my watch list is green. Wow. That is a testament to how strong this market is. Not Berkshire. What's Berkshire doing? Yep, Warren Buffett. All-time new high yesterday or Wednesday. Very good. Let's take a look. I want to go over David. Any more?
No.
Okay. Look at this, man. Again, I just showed this one for new people coming in. Pivot Pop. These are pivot floor trader pivots, they're called. You can put them on your platform. This is TradeStation. I know they have them on Thinkorswim too. They are based on a high-low close of the previous day. Why they work? Don't ask me. All I know is they do to a large degree. Do they always do this? No. Will they always work? No. Are they a high probability little setup? Absolutely they are. Price comes down, pops right off the pivot. Every one of these lines. Now, these lines were drawn before the market opened or as the market opened at 4 a.m. And so runs up, pulls back, bounces high or low, right on the pivot again. You could have taken it again or stayed in if you had put your stop down here. That's a beauty. That is a beautiful little day trade. Only works for day trades, but yeah, that's a good one. All right. What else? I had some more. Oh, GDX. We'll bounce here, and you can see here. Not only did it bounce off, get my pen, bounce off of the floor trader pivots, it also bounced into it. Support and resistance. They can often be support and resistance. And then, you could have said, okay, I'll put my stop here. This didn't make a whole lot, but still, I mean, only because GDX doesn't move all that much. But so you can just take more options and see if you can pump up the trade. Also, the TQs. Right here. Boom. Down, bounces off it, breaks through, bounces into it, bounces into it, bounces into it. And I think, yeah, Amazon did too. Here, drop, boom. And so there are 7 floor trader pivots. 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top, a yellow one in the middle. Does it matter which one? Nope. Just, and remember, these are drawn again. These are drawn right here at 4 a.m. So it's not like they've been drawn afterwards. They're drawn before. And they do tend to be support and resistance areas. So they can be very, very interesting. Greg, good to see you again. I thought I lost you. Any thoughts, any ideas, any stock questions, any questions at all? Options?
Eric, what's this figure two?
I'm
Want them
sorry.
to grow, but also want to make sure they're staying safe. That's why Instagram is something else.
Your audio
Automatic
is
protect
not very good.
content. Instagram.
Greg, yeah, your audio is not coming through. Greg, can you chat into the chat box?
Mm.
There's a chat box icon at the bottom of the screen there. Let me mute you for a moment. See if you can chat into there you go. Yeah, yeah, you can. You can speak here. But I had some, I don't know if that, apparently that wasn't you speaking. I guess that maybe it was a radio or something, but let's see. Yeah, just unmute your side. That's all. I guess I can't unmute you from here. Yeah, by all means. And if you can't find your unmute button, then chat it into, if you have a question or a thought, idea, stock to take a look at, just type it into the chat box. All right, so I believe we're going to have a strong close. What is the SPY at now? Still 603-ish. We'll probably have a little pullback before into the end of the day. You get your day traders taking their profits because this is a big run. So you're going to get some day trading profits taken. There you go, Greg. You should be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Just recovering from what yesterday.
Too much turkey?
Yeah. Um, so what are you thinking about Nvidia right now?
Well, let's take a look. It's up $3 today. Let's take a look on the daily. Well, again, no, these are not recommendations, of course, but it is oversold on the stochastic. This is a doji bar that we've talked about here several times. Doji bar because it has an open and close very tight, and then a tail on the top and bottom. The tail here shows buyers coming in. Right? Price came all the way down to here. There's your low, and then the buyers have pushed it all the way back. So if we look at this yesterday or Wednesday on a 2-minute chart, that's what you'll see. That is a potential reversal pattern. Let's go back to Wednesday. So there you go. That's what you have on that bar. It opened up here. It ran all the way down to here. and then ran all the way up to close at the top of the day. So this was the open right here. And that was the close right there. So the open and close are very tight, and buyers came in here at the bottom and pushed the price back up. Here is the open and the close, and it went slightly higher. So you have a little tail on the top, and that's why that candle looks better than that one, but the candle looks like that. And so buyers came in and pushed it back up. And then you look to the next day to see if buyers continue to come in. Let's take a look. Today, they did. So as a reversal pattern, above the top of the doji, shows buyers are continuing to come in. And there's probability, no guarantee that they will continue to come in, especially with the stochastic oversold. Oversold here, it ran up. Oversold here, it ran up. Oversold here. 3/4 oversold here. Oversold here. Will that happen every time? No, it will not. Will it happen enough to make it a high probability possible trade? Yeah, it does. It adds tremendously to the probability, but no guarantee. So what do you think about this trade, Greg?
Well, looking at the options, they're really expensive,
Yeah.
and I'm curious if you like the NVDY
Oh, is that
that kind of mimics it, but it's a
yeah.
lower price.
Well, in DVY, it depends on the options. Sometimes the options get a little swoop. In DVY, if I could type. No. You sure that's a symbol? It's not coming up on my side.
Um, hold on.
Or is it NVDY?
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
why? It's a
What?
mutual. Oh, you probably have to switch to it's an ETF.
Oh, ETFs will come
Maybe.
in. What is the symbol?
N NVDY. I saw it. Let me double check here.
Although it shouldn't be an ETF actually, but we'll see.
I see it.
What's the symbol, David?
NVDY.
NVDY. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah. Oh, this is a yield max. Oh, I know yield max. Nah, yield max, you got to be careful. Yield max is a company that they have a bunch of these. They probably have 20 of these. And their design is to throw off a super intense dividend. The yield max dividend, for example, on one is called MSTY, which is based on MicroStrategy, is 110% a year. So going to take a look at yield. Well, first of all, let's take a look at the options. They can be a little freaky, but yeah, see 180, 290, 290, 390, 390, 480, very high spreads. You'd want to stay away from very high spreads. What is this thing? 25? And the problem is this thing really hasn't moved much. It was 31, now it's what, 26? And it's been coming down for 3 months versus NVIDIA. Oh, where the heck is it? Come on. Oh, there it is. NVIDIA's gone up. So what happens is they throw off that dividend, and when they do, it takes it out of your the price of the ETF. So if you go over here and if you Google yield max, come on. This is yield max. So what was that? NVDY. This is a smaller one. It only has a 54% year over year dividend. what they do is they take option strategies and they well, Greg's gone. But that's good for everybody else. They take option strategies like bull puts bear calls and whatever they do, sell calls, cover calls, and they throw off that yield. So here is one on MicroStrategy. See, they got a lot of them. 168%. I mean, some of these are really quite amazing. And I'll show you what the record's been. That's crazy, 168%. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, last 8 months. It's only been around for 8 months. A lot of the other ones are around longer, but they keep putting in new ones. $4 per month, $2.50, $3. These are dividends. This is per share. So if you had 100 shares, you get $400 dividend. And at that time, the thing was 30 bucks. 10% would be $3. This was a whole lot. 30, 10%. So that'd be about 13%, 14% almost in 1 month. You do that every month, and that's 170%. So not the same every month. Depends on how much they make. This one was only barely $2, but then the last one was again $4.42, $4.20. This one, these two were low. These two were in the middle. This one was high. So yeah, that's yield max. They have some weekly ones here also, like this one. 109%. That's some crazy, crazy stuff. And again, not much of a track record. But if you go back here, see what's been around the most. Maybe they do it this way. This one's on Tesla. Yeah, see now this one's been around for looks like a couple years, and it's still yielding 104%. I'm not really sure what this is, but this is their distribution rate. So
Yeah, I looked at that. I think you and I talked about it,
yeah.
but I just really, I mean, I was doing a paper trade anyway. I just really couldn't get comfortable with uh, with their approach as far as making sure I wasn't going to lose my shirt.
Well, I mean, here's one, this thing's been around for a couple of years. It was 25. It's leveled off here at 16. So, I mean, sure, but over the 3 years, it goes from 25 to 16. But in those 3 years, you made 100% a year. You're up 300% in dividends, 300% of the cost of the ETF. So, and I'm not sure why Tesla is down. Well, Tesla's down itself a little bit, but now recently
Yeah.
it's been up, and that's what causes this to go up. But yeah, they're interesting. They may not be for everybody, but they are interesting. So, just a thought. I don't have anything to do with it. I don't sell them. I do have one, but, and it's done actually pretty darn well, but
Hmm.
yeah, I'm sure they're not for everybody. The one I have was based on MSTR, MicroStrategies. MicroStrategies is a huge buyer of Bitcoin. This guy apparently who runs this company or a CEO or owns it, whatever, um, is fanatic about Bitcoin. He owns like 33, I mean, the company does 31 or $33 billion worth of Bitcoin. And so when Bitcoin just doubled from 50,000 to 100,000, this thing started screaming. And then the MSTY, you can see here, it was 19 and it went all the way to $46 and gives you 100% dividend. So some of these, it can be a real home run. You got to be careful, I'm sure, just like anything else, and nothing's guaranteed, but this is what they do. They have those option strategies on all of them. So interesting. All right, so let's see. I gotta scoot out here in a few minutes, guys. But let's just take a look here real quick. Yeah, but the options on these things are pretty weird. Big spreads. But I mean, in theory, I mean, if you bought an option here and the thing went up and then you did well on the option and you're getting a big dividend and the price went up, if you owned this, covered, if you were covered, you had it yourself, had the ETF itself and an option and a dividend. I mean, but I mean, in hindsight, that's beautiful. But the call up here, you'd be losing money. All right. So
Okay.
just a thought. Interesting thing. Take a look at it. I was hoping Greg would stick around, but he's gone. But yeah, it's a little funky to trade. There are others on some of these stocks. I know Amazon, maybe I didn't keep it. Amazon's got something that you could trade that isn't quite as pricey. Oh no, here it is. Now this is just a double bull ETF on Amazon and it's only $37. So if you want to trade that instead of Amazon at whatever, 200, 207, you could. But again, if you want to check the options, a lot of times the options get freaky, although this is still pretty good. These are nice spreads, actually. Where's it at? 39, 40. Yeah.
Where do you find these?
I just Google stuff.
Okay.
I'm always Googling stuff. That's what I like to do. AMZU. Guys, any last questions before I move along?
Not for me.
Be a little depressed, the market's going to close, but I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm sure we all have plenty to do. Taking a little extra time off, it'll be good for everybody. All right,
All right.
Ray, David, be well. Happy Thanksgiving weekend, whatever we want to call it. And keep an eye on the market. It will most likely close at an all-time new high. What was the high? 603. It's pulled back a little bit, pulled back 50, 60 cents, but still, I suppose the next 5 minutes will be fine. So we got an all-time brand new high. Up, Greg.
Yeah.
There's Greg.
Yes.
So
I
Greg,
don't know
yeah.
what's going on. I keep on dropping out.
Well, yeah, we just looked at those yield max things. Remember, that's a yield max. So, keep an eye on it. It's an interesting company. Some of those are very interesting. Kind of tough to trade the options on that particular one because the spreads are pretty big. Always be
Okay,
careful of
thanks.
spreads. Yeah, always be careful of spreads on any trade that you take. You want tight spreads, less than 5-7% of the ask price.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, be well, and I will see you next week. Have a great weekend.
You too.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Bye.